What I will say is, if you're going to be getting leads from the internet, from pay-per-click or Facebook, you need to have a budget minimum of $15,000 a month. Okay, $15,000 a month, I think, is the right. Now, listen, in some of the smaller markets, you could back that to $3,000 to $5,000. But if you're in a major market that has over 1 million people living in it, then I would say $15,000 minimum. If you have less than that, you can go $3,000 to $5,000 and test it out. But what you need to make sure is this: as soon as that lead comes in, you need to contact them, because you are not the only person, and that's going to explain this deal breakdown perfectly. Okay, so when it comes to finding discounted properties, there's only 3 ways to find discounted properties. The first way is very traditional, and it is marketing. It is literally spending money so that people reach out to you to see how much you're willing to offer on their property. And this year especially, we've been playing around with a little bit more of a marketing side. We're still very heavy with our prospecting, with our phone prospecting, but we have connected with an incredible group that does our internet leads, which has been really interesting, because classically in Phoenix, Arizona, and major markets, the cost for internet leads, for getting a deal from like pay-per-click or Facebook ads or something like that, has typically traditionally been about $11,000 to $12,000 in major markets for one deal. All right, for one deal. That's just because it's very competitive to make sure that your website is pushed to the top with some of these keywords that people put in, you know, like cash for my house, or ugly house, or sell my house fast, or something like that. Those cost a lot of money. So we worked with the Bateman Collective. That's the name of the company. Kind of keep it on the hush, because they're doing a really good job. I don't want to oversaturate them. But Bateman Collective has done a really good job with us. And what I will say is, if you're going to be getting leads from the internet, from pay-per-click or Facebook, you need to have a budget minimum of $15,000 a month. Okay, $15,000 a month, I think, is the right. Now, listen, in some of the smaller markets, you could back that to $3,000 to $5,000. But if you're in a major market that has over 1 million people living in it, then I would say $15,000 minimum. If you have less than that, you can go $3,000 to $5,000 and test it out. But what you need to make sure is this: as soon as that lead comes in, you need to contact them, because you are not the only person, and that's going to explain this deal breakdown perfectly. Because this deal here, let me tell you, so this was a pay-per-click. She went to the website, she filled it out. This is somebody that just inherited her uncle's property. All right, this guy had lived there since 1974, a bachelor all his life, never renovated the property, just bought it, loved it the way it was, lived in it, and unfortunately just recently passed away. She inherited the property, and she doesn't live close. It's not something like she could really effectively keep this property as a rental property. It's not like she can has the budget to be able to fix it up and make sure that everything was going well and people weren't breaking into the property. So she decided that she just wanted to sell it quick for cash. She didn't want to mess with realtors. She didn't want to really clean out the property. We'll show you some pictures in this video, or some video of that we went around with our camera phone and just shot in the house itself, so that you get an idea of what the inside looked like. But I mean, it's just a dated house with a lot of stuff that a bachelor would have, and the family just wanted to honor the uncle, get all the stuff that really meant something special to them, all the personal property that really meant, all the things that they had memories with, and they got all that out and wanted to sell the property, and it went really, really, really smooth. We talked to this person for the first time 20 days ago. Now, if you are prospecting, if you're picking up the phone and calling somebody, typically it takes 90 days from the first time you talk to them to the time you get paid, 90 days. Well, we talked that that's the beautiful thing about marketing. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, you net less per deal, but they're faster. They're way faster. And on this one, she was ready to make the decision, and we followed up for 2 weeks and got the deal done. Yes, so we are now in the neighborhood of this deal, and I am telling you, there is so many opportunities for unbelievable deals. We'll drive around, we'll show you some examples of a few, but this area is really turning around. You're gonna see we're going right now into a school zone, so they've got a good school district here, and it's just older properties. So you see younger families that are wanting to get into good school districts coming into these smaller properties, these smaller houses that were built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and then they're going to add on to these properties because they're on pretty good sized lots. And so that's really the strategy in this area, and the reason why this area is turning over. You're going to see you've got some renovated properties right next to some properties that really need a lot of love, and our property is one of those that needs some love for sure. This is a perfect example. Older 70s style houses, good sized lots. You got the mountain right here, which is a beautiful feature, but you can see it just has that feel of kind of like that it hasn't caught on yet. It hasn't picked up, you know, to the pace of the rest of the market with a lot of the renovations. And you're going to see that this area right here in kind of the south part of North Phoenix is really going to make a huge turnaround. There's going to be a ton of potential. I mean, you've got some newer properties here that were built, and it's right next to properties that have been here forever. I mean, have been here 50 years and could use some renovation. Now that could be a really cool, really fun house, really exciting house with some unique features, especially with the mountain in the background. It's like this house right here. This shows a ton of potential. I mean, look at what's going on here. You know, these are the properties. These are the properties that you add to your Driving for Dollars list and get really excited about and get really obsessed with having a conversation with the property owner and just see what's going on. Start building that relationship. You don't know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, that could be your biggest deal of the year because you've built an incredible relationship with that property owner. All right, this is the property right here. We're parked like this and we're not sitting in front because look at that. Right across the street is an elementary school. And when my disposition manager, Jeremy, was comping this property, he had called me and asked me, what do you think? Do you think that that's going to reduce the total fixed up value of this property? And I didn't really think so. I thought it'd be a great advantage. I mean, obviously there's traffic and pick up and drop off every single day, but you know, this area is coming up. These are good schools. They're investing a lot of money into their schools, so people are going to want to be closer to them. So that's a huge advantage. And so you really have to look at, you know, what is the traffic like in the mornings and afternoons on a property that's this close to a school. It's literally across the street. So what I would suggest you do is drive there during those drop-off times, depending on when the schools start. Typically it's between 7:30 and 8, and then they pick up at you know, 2:45, 3:30, and we're right here right now. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Doesn't look too bad. Maybe all the kids have already left. Maybe it was earlier, but it's not bad. And I think that somebody's going to find a huge advantage. This could be, you know, the popular kid's house type of thing once this thing gets renovated and built, and it's on a huge lot. The cash buyer that bought this deal from us is going to add square footage on a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that's about 900 square feet, going to add square footage to make it closer to 2,000 square feet, and he's going to make an absolute fortune on the flip. But let me tell you the circumstances behind this. This is really interesting. When you put out marketing, you need to expect that whether it's your website or postcards or a banded sign, that you are not the only person that they're going to reach out to get an offer, okay? And the beautiful thing about this one was we were competing with another offer, and we had agreed at $230,000. The seller was very happy with that, and once they told that to the other bidding offer, they rushed out really fast and they gave her an offer of $231,500, $1,500 more than us. But they made a fatal mistake. All right, they came too aggressive. Right? If you're dealing with an amiable personalities, which is like 60% of the people that we do business with in wholesaling real estate, these are the people that don't make decisions quickly and feel very, very, very uncomfortable if they are pressured. And he pressured just a little too much, and the straw that broke the camel's back was he got rid of the inspection period. Now here's a little tip, and something that I've seen time and time again. When people inherit a property, they don't know anything about it. They assume that there's going to be inspections done on the property because they can't disclose anything about the property. So they assume that they're going to get people to go in and inspect it. They didn't think that it was a legitimate buyer because they waived their inspection period. So I think it's very, very, very important. The learning lesson of this deal breakdown is ask really good questions, see how they feel about an inspection period before you just start crossing it out on the contracts and making them feel uncomfortable. Let them tell you how they want you to go forward. All right, that's the most important thing. Absolutely incredible. I mean, the house is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath right now. It's going to be added on to 1,000 square feet, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a great deal for somebody.